Peace, y'all, and welcome back to another tea time. You already know the vibes. We have changed our scenery, okay? I told y'all in the last few videos there was some movement occurring in my house. The movement has occurred, okay? So this is our new setup for now. Things might shift around. Things might, get added, whatever. That's beyond the point, besides the point. That little knocking you hear, don't worry about it. My baby is becoming a future drummer. Welcome to tea time. What are you sipping on? Me, I'm sipping on coffee. It's a coffee kind of message, okay? Because when I tell y'all that spirit took all day yesterday to give me this download, I mean all day. Like, I spent a lot of time outside in my little garden. So I was outside in my little garden, just being very meditative, and that's in like the AM, probably like 10 a.m. yesterday. I was getting, into the meditative flow, and I got the beginning of this message, and I wrote down, what I got. And then last night, again, I was back in my little garden in my meditative energy, and I'd say probably around like 9:30, 10 o'clock last night, I got the tail end of this message. So it literally took all day to like completely receive and download this message. And if that's any indication of, how sweet the message is, that would tell you why we're sipping coffee today. It's a caramel macchiato kind of blend, okay? We got some cinnamon, some brown sugar, because I'm that kind of girly. And yeah. We're gonna jump right into this tea time though. Okay. Spirit be giving me messages. And I just be like, all right, Spirit, yeah. Like, that's what we're gonna do. We're doing that today. I'm gonna get here and I'm gonna talk to the camera about this thing that you're telling me to talk about. Today's topic is just like, it's something I would normally talk about with like friends. However, to get on the interwebs and be talking about this, it's a little different. So, Spirit is always taking me out of my comfort zone with these tea times, amen. And if you're here and you're vibing with me, welcome to it. Let's get into it. We're just gonna dive right in. And if it wasn't clear, a little uncomfortable with this conversation, but we're doing it anyway because Spirit said do it. So what are we talking about today? With all that being said, we are talking about floating through the void, right? Swimming through the void, right? Okay, because if you've been in here or in the readings, I'm always talking about us being the co-creators of our life. So what does that like actually fully mean? How do you co-create? What does it look like? How do you step into that power? Yeah. I don't know. I guess the answer here is you recognize that we're in the void, right? So what is the void? The void is the infinite nothingness that we came from, right? The darkness, the cosmic womb, that is the void, right? Recognizing that in that space of nothingness, is everything and nothing at the same time, because in that void, in that space of nothingness, there are infinite possibilities, which is why you're the co-creator, right? Okay, so now I got a lot of notes, y'all, because Spirit was really speaking yesterday. So I'm gonna read this really quick for y'all. It says the void is the infinite energy from which we came while we are here on earth physically, okay? We gotta recognize that spiritually and energetically, we are in the void, right? We are still a part of the intrinsic nothingness in which we came from, right? We are still very much connected to the cosmic womb that we came from, even though we are now here physically incarnated as human beings. Right? with that being said, let's see. Life. So it's like, okay, we create these contracts, right? We've talked about this in previous readings. We have our contracts, so there are certain lessons and experiences that are just destined or written to happen, right? So that our soul can learn and grow and evolve as we're here on this earth school. Right. So here on earth school, when you're experiencing things in the physical, it is so important to recognize that you too are experiencing them spiritually and energetically. What we're experiencing here physically on the earth, we're also experiencing in a spiritual realm, right? We're also experiencing in the void. And it may not look the same because one is spiritual and one is physical. So while physically you might be faced with obstacles and challenges, or your lesson might come from like a person, right? Or this karmic lesson that continues to repeat. It's not obviously going to be a person in the spiritual, but you are still learning that same lesson spiritually, and that is occurring in the void, right? That is occurring on a spiritual and energetic level. So when people say it's not that deep, and this is just a side note, because it's always that fucking deep, okay? It's just, okay, period. So it's like, we experience these lessons, we experience these cycles, we experience these patterns, and this is the reality that we are faced with, right? This is the reality that we're receiving, we're perceiving. We become the co-creator of our life when we choose to recognize the part we play in those lessons, in those cycles, in those patterns, right? When we choose to recognize, like, hey, this thing keeps repeating because I keep responding the same way. I keep meeting the same energies in the same body because I am still on the same vibrational match level with whatever this energy or entity is that I keep coming across in different people, in different scenarios, in different situations, right? We become the co-creator when we choose to respond differently, to perceive the world around us differently, or to perceive the situation differently, to react to that person or that experience differently. That's how you become the co-creator, right? We create something out of nothing based on how we choose to receive, perceive, and react to the lessons, to the reality that we are experiencing. And then I was brought to, you know that show, The Midnight Gospel on Netflix, the cartoon? If you've never watched it, go type in, very relevant to this conversation, okay? Excuse me, I'm quiet. Very relevant to this conversation. And if you've never watched it, it is an animation. First of all, the visuals, popping. But the main character basically goes through different realities in each episode. He finds himself in a different reality, a different timeline, different dimension, different sum, right? And in each reality, there is so much chaos ensuing around him, but he is learning a very deep spiritual life lesson of some kind, right? As the chaos is going on, which is why Spirit brought that to me to like tie into this, because it is very much like our own cycle of life, right? Like the realities we're facing, right? Whatever your personal reality is where you are. It's what you have projected into, right? That timeline, that dimension that you're projected into at that time, right? So as you're going through that reality, okay, and it might be just like Midnight Gospel, like there's a lot of chaos ensuing around you in this reality, but what is the deeper message? What is it that you're learning? What is the hidden gem that you're supposed to grasp onto so that you can move forward out of this reality, right? Yeah. My notes say that we will continue to repeat the same realities until we choose to look at them from a different angle, or move differently, react differently, perceive it differently, change how we show up in the reality that we're facing. That is how you become the co-creator and not just the experiencer. Anyways, it says we can choose to anchor ourselves in the reality we are facing, or we can transmute the feelings. Y'all, I had to turn the page. I ain't never turned the page. Of that experience to the void, where it's alchemized into something different, thus creating a new reality, right? So if we tap into the truth that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, then everything is greater than just this physical experience. We have to start looking at things from the spiritual, not just right here in our physical lens, right? With that being said, okay, you can either choose to anchor down in the reality that you're facing or that you're perceiving at this time, right? You can choose to, whatever feelings or emotions, hurts, losses, betrayals, whatever it is that you're experiencing in your reality at this time, you can choose to like harbor and hoard all of those feelings, all of those thought forms into your own physical body and anchor down into that and just be like, I don't know, like I can't trust anybody, nobody is here for me, whatever statement it is that you're speaking into your reality is what's going to continue to be your reality, right? So if you choose to anchor down in there is nobody to support me, I can't trust people, somebody is always out to get me, somebody is always going to betray me, you know what I mean? Like if you're anchoring down in that reality, that's the reality that's going to continue to perpetuate. That's the part of being the co-creator, right? You're co-creating with what you're holding on to, you're co-creating with what you're telling yourself, you're co-creating with what you're speaking out loud, for real. So it is a choice to be like, are you going to receive this reality as like, this is my end all be all reality, and I'm going to anchor into this, I'm going to hold on to those emotions that I'm feeling from this experience or this situation or how that person treated me, and I'm going to hold on to the mentality that I developed because of this situation, because of this experience, because of this person. This is my new truth, this is my new reality. You're co-creating that. If this is Midnight Gospel, that's like him getting stuck in one of those alternate dimensions, alternate realities, right? Because him just being like, hey, I'm gonna anchor down in this. Yeah, this chaos that's occurring right now around me, yeah, I'm gonna attach myself emotionally, energetically, mentally to this chaos, and I'm gonna sit right here, and I'm just gonna allow this to continue to repeat and perpetuate on every scale, on every level, in every aspect. That's how we get stuck in a loop, right? If it's Midnight Gospel as the example, he always exit up out of there. He always end up back in his home base, in his homeostasis, in his own reality, and he goes to these other realities, to these other dimensions, and he learns, you feel me? And that's what it's about. This is literally what life is about, is to learn the lesson for your soul's elevation, for your soul's evolution, and then to get up out of there, right? Like, we are not supposed to continue to sit and repeat the same cycle and perpetuate the same energy that doesn't even serve you, that you don't even fuck with, you don't even like, you don't even want to be here. But we're perpetuating that because you have anchored yourself emotionally, mentally, energetically into that reality, right? So if you want to create a different reality, right, you have to choose to transmute that energy. Whatever emotional, mental, energetic attachment that you usually would anchor yourself down into, you have to transmute. You have to send up, send it to spirit, right? Send that to the void. Like, okay, this is the reality that I'm facing. Instead of holding on to and harboring all those emotions, holding on to that mental anguish, the mental unrest, instead of holding on to that betrayal or whatever it is for you personally, I'm just gonna release it. It's above me now. Okay, that's the energy that you have to hold on to. Just release it, send it up to spirit. Do you feel me? And just, spirit got this. Spirit's gonna handle this. I think one of the main, like, most important things to remember as a co-creator here is we are not in control of shit. Like, and it's 15:55 on my timer as I'm saying this. It's like the biggest common misconception is to think that we control anything, when in reality, the only thing we can control is ourselves. How we choose to receive, how we choose to perceive, how we choose to react, how we choose to hoard, harbor, hold on to, or how we choose to release, transmute, and alchemize. Because that's exactly what's happening. If you're not holding on to energy, it doesn't die. It only transfers, right? So if you are in this physical reality and you're having whatever kind of experience it is that you're having in this physical reality, and you choose to say, instead of holding on to this emotional, mental, energetic, whatever, turmoil, energy, instead of holding on to it, you just say, you know what, this isn't even for me. That energy is not even mine. Do you feel me? Those thoughts don't belong to me. I'm not gonna allow that projection to affect me energetically. If that energy is being projected to you in your physical reality and you choose not to receive it, you choose not to hold on to it, it doesn't have a choice, like, but to go somewhere, right? So it's gonna go back into the void. If you choose, I'm not anchoring myself in this anger, I'm not anchoring myself in this hurt, this heartache, this loss, this pain, this betrayal, whatever, okay, emotional bag, that, whatever, mental unrest, that is. If you choose not to jump into that emotional bag pot, that mental unrest pot, if you choose not to hold on to it, it's going to transmute. It does not. Energy has to transfer somewhere. So if it's being projected onto you, are you going to hold on to it as is? Or are you going to choose, those are my feelings, and let it transfer. Let it transmute through you into the void, into the spiritual, so that it can become something great. So that it becomes something alchemized into something that is actually moving you forward into your highest good, highest self, highest purpose, right? Because if you're here having this physical experience and you choose not to hold on to whatever emotions or habits or mindsets are being projected onto you, you're learning the lesson in the physical, which means you're alchemizing the energy spiritually, right? So you're creating a new reality for yourself off top, because the reality that is trying to be projected onto you, you're not receiving. I ain't taking it. That ain't for me. Okay, so now that has to transmute into some energy that is for you. When we choose to hold on to the mental, the emotional, the energetic energies, projections that are being sent in this physical reality that you're facing, when you choose to hold on to that and harbor it, it anchors you deeper into the reality you're experiencing, but it also anchors into your physical body, right? Energy is supposed to be moving. It's supposed to be transferring. Energy is supposed to be emotion, period. Like, that is what that is. So when you choose to take on the energies the anger, the mindsets, the emotions of whatever reality it is that you're currently facing, instead of transmuting that, it has nowhere to go. It's going to get stuck in your physical body, right? So this is how you get stuck, like it disease. Y'all hear that baby crying? Right on time. Right on time. Right? You get, the energy gets stuck in your body. It festers into disease of the mind, of the body, of the spirit. It's uncomfortable. It'll have you in your feels, and for what? Right. And for what? It says, back to, we don't have any control in this reality, in this earth school. What, the only thing we control is ourselves, okay? Our mind, our body, our heart, our spirit is the only thing we have control over. We have control over how we receive, perceive, and react. I will continue to say that. I will continue to say that. That's the only thing we have control over. So in reality, if you're worried about it, it's because you don't have control anyway. Usually we are worrying about the things that we can't control. And that's why you're worried, because you don't have control over it. So you don't have control over it. Why worry? Why worry? Transmute that energy to spirit. Fears, doubts, worries, anxieties, depression. Transmute that energy to spirit. Like, why let that sit in your energetic, mental, emotional bodies when you can't do anything about it? Why let that anchor into your physical reality? Why let that fester into disease when you can release that energy and just be like, it's above me now, spirit? Transmute that into the void. It's gonna turn into something beautiful, right? All we can do for real is like I didn't hear that bell. All we can do is transmute that energy, transfer that energy to the void, transfer that energy spiritually and energetically for our highest good, for our highest self, for our highest purpose, right? Choose to not grasp onto what is being projected in your current reality. That's all you can do. And then have faith, and full faith and trust. Even if you only got the faith of a mustard seed, you better hold on to the mustard seed then, right? Hold on to the faith that everything is happening in your favor. Everything is happening for your growth, for your elevation, right? For your highest good, highest self, highest purpose. Like, this is the energy that you have to move in. And then just be present, right? I don't know the title of the video, and if I do remember, I will link it at the end of this video. But in one of my last tea times, I was just talking about how where are we going, spirit? I was talking about how we don't control anything in one of my last videos. So with that being said, the only thing we control is ourselves, how we choose to move, how we choose to perceive, receive, and react, what we choose to hold on to and anchor in our bodies, what truths we choose to accept and release and transmute. That's all we can control. There we go, spirit. Thank you very much. 2, 3, 4, 5 on my timer as I was remembering what the hell I was gonna say here. But with that being said, and us not having that control, we have to spirit, damn, do you not want me to say that? Lost it. Anyway, look it. The last point I have here is, spirit put it on my heart to give the example of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? And you know how in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, at the very end, right, they got up in that elevator, that glass elevator. And that glass elevator did not have not near direction to it, okay? You could go up, you could go down, you could go sideways, you could go diagonal, we could go loop in this bitch, okay? Right. With that being said, it's the same for us. Like, if spiritually we're in the void, we're in the glass elevator. We are just in the cosmic womb, okay? We are in this infinite nothingness and everything at the same damn time. So if we're sitting spiritually and energetically in this glass elevator, there is no direction except the direction you choose to focus on. It could go any way. So are you falling through the void or are you floating through it? Right. Are you stuck in a reality you don't want to be in because you have harbored and anchored all of those feelings and emotions and thought forms that were being projected to you in that reality upon you? Or are you transmuting that energy so that you can continue to move through the void? Because at the end of the day, we're sitting up in this glass elevator, and what we choose to focus our intention, our energy on is the direction the elevator is going to go. So are you focusing on the projections of the reality that you are currently seeing? Or are you focusing on your highest good, your highest self, your highest purpose, your highest timeline? Are you focusing on where it is that you want to be going, who it is that you're becoming, the reality that you want to see? Or are you focusing on the reality that is currently? Because what you're focused on is exactly where that glass elevator is going to take you. That's the message that I got. That's okay. So you remember when I was like, I lost the spirit? It's back. It's back. And in one of my previous videos, I was talking about that the power, your power and your magic really only lies in the present moment, right? So back to control. We can't control anything. We can't control what has already happened. And the only way for us to control what is coming for us is to be present, right? The magic, the power of co-creation, the power we hold as humans, as co-creators, is in this very present moment, right? Not a minute ago, not a second ago, not 30 minutes from now, right now. Right the fuck now, right? The only thing we can control is how we react, how we move, how we respond, how we receive, how we perceive what is happening right now. So are you going to utilize your power as a co-creator and choose to receive, to perceive, and react differently to the reality that you're facing right now so that you can create a new reality for yourself in the future? Or are you going to sit here and hold on to the energies that are being projected to you? Yeah, being projected to you. Hold on to the anger you're feeling because of the energies that are being projected to you. Hold on to the resentment because of the reality you're sitting into right now. These are all choices. And if you want to be the co-creator of your life, recognize your power in the present moment. Recognize the magic and the beauty of the present moment. And recognize that we cannot control anything except for this present moment. And then also recognize that everything is spiritual. We are moving through this void every day, at every moment. We are in the cosmic egg spiritually. We are not even in it, we are a part of the cosmic egg spiritually. So we get to choose what is birthed into reality for us. From the cosmic egg, from the nothingness comes the something that we experience, reality presently. Why? Because this is what it is, okay? Because you are the co-creator of your life, and the present moment is where your power lies. And I can't say that, I can't stress that enough, okay? Your power lies in the present moment. Are you going to hold on to and harbor whatever is coming towards you in your reality presently? Or are you going to transmute that energy, send it up to the cosmic egg, send it up to the void, and allow it to become something that actually aligns with you? For your highest good, your highest self, your highest purpose. That's the message, okay? Be like Charlie in the motherfucking chocolate factory, okay? Which way do you want this elevator to go? Which reality do you want to tap into, right? Be like Midnight Gospel. Which reality are you tapping into? And what are you learning from that reality so you can get the fuck up out of there and move forward or back? backward, up, down, sideways, diagonal, whatever way it is you want to move in your motherfucking elevator, okay? That's what you're doing. But it is a choice. I said this every damn video, okay? It is a choice. So choose wisely. That's the video. That's the message. Thank you so much for tuning in, tapping in with me for this tea time, okay? If you like this video, share it with somebody you love. If you need anything from me, readings, yoga, meditation, parties, okay, anything, check the link in the description box. And until next time, stay divine. Peace.